with much speculation, Warren Sapp is no longer with the program. Now, this is one I'm going to be a little bit more less cordial about. I'm not upset about this one, to be honest with you. I was a fan of Warren Sapp as a player. I was not all that much of a fan of Warren Sapp when he was hired because of some of these stuff that has happened with him in his past. I want to say this, and I don't want it to come across the wrong way, but like, because our head coach is also a former player, but not every former player makes a good coach. Some do. I believe Deion Sanders, as a former player, makes a great coach. I don't know that Warren Sapp makes a great football coach. He's a really good personality. The name itself is really good at attracting players. Like, he got a 4-star Christian Hudson, who was nicknamed Baby Sapp, to come play for the Buffs. Like, that's a value add in and of itself. He wasn't a defensive line coach. He was a pass rush coordinator. I just think that I'm okay with that moving on. I think the whole NFL experience thing was a really good marketing tactic. Like, I think that the whole playing cards thing that they did as part of the offers was really cool. And I think pitching the most NFL coaching experience in college football was really great. But ultimately, at the end of the day, Sapp has a lot of baggage. Sapp has a lot going on in his personal life. When he was going to pageants, like beauty pageants and stuff like that during the offseason, when the entire defensive line room was leaving, I was like, I'm okay if we find a new defensive line coach. And this is like, again, he's not defensive line, defensive pass rush. A guy like Dante Carter lives, breathes, and dies by coaching. Like, he's a guy. He's a guy that players really love because he is always there in the building, grinding to make sure that he is the best coach possible. Warren Sapp has achieved the highest level of professional football. The coaching was just like a side fun gig. And it was something that I think needed to be reevaluated. Was the whole idea of, as Cam says, the whole NFL experience versus college experience. Dante Carter has college experience. Warren Sapp has NFL experience. He also had no coaching experience. So, me personally, I'm okay with this. I wish him well. I try to wish everybody well. But ultimately, at the end of the day, as New Breed says, he was a part-time coach, and he was happy about that. You all saw the stuff going on at the national championship. I'm not going to get into that stuff. That's beyond the same way I'm not going to get into his other things that he's been accused of in the past. I'm just saying, for the sake of the Colorado football program, I'm okay with separating there and just moving on from that. And again, this goes back to the big thing. I said it, like, I'm not sitting here trying to tell you that I'm all like heartbroken that Coach Sapp is leaving. At the same time, the whole idea that this is like a Coach Prime can't retain his staff, and the way that this is, he's pursuing other opportunities. I believe that he's pursuing other opportunities, but that doesn't also mean that he was like, I can't do this anymore. I don't want to do this. It's like, I'm leaving because I don't believe in Coach Prime. This very well could be Coach Prime looking and saying, hey, hey, Warren, like, or Coach Sapp, maybe you should go look for other opportunities. Like, because he's pursuing other opportunities doesn't mean that it wasn't a mutually decided or potentially one-sided decision to say, hey, we want to get some other voices in here, and we want to teach a little bit more technique and less just having a name associated with our defensive line room. Sapp had no dreams of being a head coach or anything higher than he was. That's also true. Like, he was somebody that, he said it himself a couple of times. He was like, oh, I had to like convince myself to want to be coaching. Like, he was like, I was hesitant at first, and he had said a couple of times that he loved it. He said that he was really enjoying the process and everything. But like, again, I'll say it again. Dante Carter is somebody that lives, breathes, and dies by his craft in the coaching regimen. Warren Sapp was doing this kind of like a side quest. I'm not going to lie. Like, he was kind of like hey, why not? I'll go help out my old friend, Coach Prime. And I just think that finding somebody who like needs that next level, right? Like this is they can't lose their opportunity, right? Like Warren Sapp could lose his opportunity, and that was okay. A guy like Dante Carter can't lose this opportunity. And that's the type of coaches that you want in your building. The guys that are willing to sleep in the building because they need to make sure that their unit is the best possible unit. That's the guys you want. And so best of luck to Coach Sapp. New Breed says he isn't pursuing other opportunities. That's where I'm like, the spin of, yeah, he's leaving Colorado to go find a different, transparently, and this is not me reporting anything, I wouldn't be surprised if Warren Sapp does not coach again in his career. I would not be surprised by that if he just was like, I'm hanging it up, I'm good, let's move on. Okay, cool. Let's talk about a cool little thread that I saw. And this is also one that is not definitive. This comes in from Keep It Real Buffs. We got some jersey numbers. We got some numbers. This is like fun. This is the part of the off season that's like entertaining, right? Like this is what we do it for. This is why we pay attention to this stuff. We're starting off, and again, shout out Keep It Real Buffs. You can't see it up here in the top left, but this is who posted this and is doing all the digging. I'm really good at Twitter. I'm terrible at Instagram. I hate Instagram with a passion. So people who follow like players and their stories, I'm gonna start paying somebody to be my Instagram sleuth. But DeAndre Moore gets number 3. Some people were prospecting that he might get 0. Coach Prime is not doing 0. I highly doubt. He's always said that like he doesn't think that you should ever want to be a 0. Like you are better than 0. He fits well for 3. I think 3 is cool. I could see him being a 1. I could see him being a 3. I think 3 is right for DeAndre Moore. Christian Ward, freshman coming in, has got number 17. Also, like, I don't, maybe that was something that he wore in high school, but like that just like fits to me. Both of these numbers fit perfectly fine. Christian Ward seems like a 17. I have heard that he's injured, but I've also heard that I've seen nothing that I've seen has indicated that he's anything but locked in. Braylon Edwards, 26, also fits. I think that works. He's a freshman. He's somebody who has to earn his number. And so 26, good starting point for a freshman. That makes sense. Like when you see things and you're like, that just makes sense. Braylon Edwards is 26, makes sense. Nathan Mitchell, number 4, also makes sense. That one hits well. I like Nathan Mitchell at 4. Vili Tafatafua, 45, also makes sense. I'm pretty sure that's what he was at San Jose State. These are all like ones that I'm like, I don't know about you guys. Last year, I had to check the roster like repeatedly 4 or 5 games into the season because I could not remember who was who and what numbers were what. So far, Dylan Manuel being number 99 makes sense to me. Like I just, for some reason, it just clicks in my head that these guys are that are assigned to these numbers. Jason Stokes Jr., number 13, also kind of makes sense. It's kind of cool. He's technically not a freshman. He's played already, but Jason Stokes Jr. is going to be 13. Taj White, 54. Also makes sense. Cam Perry, number 7. That's cool. I think Cam Perry in 7 is one of the best. I could have seen Cam Perry in 3. I could have seen Cam Perry. Trying to think in like what else I could see him in a 6, but I think Hakeem is still 6. Cam Perry in 7 makes sense. I think that's cool. That's all that is on here for right now. Which is, I think as they continue to come out, it'll just be like cool. We'll keep going with it. We'll keep figuring them out as we go. I also don't think these are set, right? Like I don't think that these are definitive, but spring ball is spring ball. You have to have a number to get on the field. So